bonus, but Chi-Chu gets out the spike and behind it. Smoggy's probe sent out in towards B side, won't find anything. EDG maybe reading this actually on the back of the flash, not catching. They should have a bit of space to play with outside C. Karenzi will spot on the second, yeah. Slight tag down to 80 HP, but at least noted here.
Spot from Sadak on the other side. There will be a player to greet him eventually. They do decide to opt in that direction, but we can see where the intentions lay. It's towards C. 3 players in response coming in so far. Aspas taking a lot of damage. Almost back on 3 HP, but he is still standing, so the Frenzy will still operate as well as it does. Paranoia sent and the lean back towards B. So test C, pull rotation, hit that B site. The spike should be going down uncontested.
Yeah, Les actually nearly getting spammed here behind the wall, so perfect read from Smoggy. Still wins out though, Les will fall.
Yeah, lost a little in the smoke there. Didn't quite expect someone to be pushed up so deep, and now the retake gets a little bit more difficult. Tui, Sadak, Kawanzin and Aspas, and keep in mind Aspas was already so low from that C attempt earlier on, but Tui's lovely shot towards Kankang. And now the... Oh, Chi-Chu! Okay, I thought that was going to be a trade maybe at best, but apparently 2 for him is just fine, and the numbers are just insurmountable. EDG, big beginnings.
Chi-Chu with a ridiculous snap on the second. Almost felt accidental. Kankang again left in that lurk position, looking to do some damage, but actually digs a little too deep. Gives away a Sheriff, but doesn't amount to anything. That, yeah, definitely accidental on the first. Aspas down to 3 HP, just catches one inside the smoke. Slow, very, very cautious approach here, or well-considered approach here from EDG. And I love the fact that Des touched on it. EDG, again, it's a Chinese team. You come in, you kind of expect that pacey sort of play style, but they've ticked a big box here in Tokyo and being able to master the macro game again against some teams.
Showing already against
Real
other
depth.
previous opponents is very impressive. Now this round shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll see if it does get towards it. And I do want to pose the question of the mentality for Loud here. They had some very rough starts against EG, for example, who are notoriously good at converting the bonus, getting the pistol. They've never felt like they've had that big beginning here for Loud. And once again, they're putting in a similar scenario. Losing that pistol here doesn't set them up for that momentum shift to maybe feeling out the stage a bit. And this is just walking through, right? Kankang already going to be finding Sadak here in the post plan. We only saw pistols. It was Frenzy's ghosts, bits and pieces. Yes, still had a little bit of kit to play with, but never given the opportunity to make much of it. Yeah, this is going towards getting the knives out very early. That is terrifying. Yeah, he'll be feeling out the game here. Prime Gaming flawless round 2. EDG, light work on that.
Of Loud. Well, to get into the buy round now, how they're going to approach the rest of this. And Mimi was touching on this as well. How much do Loud want to disrupt some of these slower attacking rounds from EDG? This is already an indicator of how they want to approach the attack here on Lotus, at least.
1 enemy remaining.
Kankang 2 away. Actually a very well-rounded purchase here. 3 Bulldogs, Phantom in the hands of Haldong. Spectre to round things out.
Okay, so we look at how the map kind of unfolds. We've got the 3 players getting quite deep towards A. For Loud, so they want to try and take that space away, which is going to be respected by EDG for now. On the other side, obviously, Mound then, kind of exchanging hands. That being divided up. Very, very deep hold from Sadak too, sitting almost back of sight here. And it looks like EDG do want to test this, maybe just a little. 4 players now shifting over this way.
Stacked up from Loud, though. Actually poised up to take first contact. The smoke is posted deep, yeah. Will allow them to do so. Trailblazer will trade off at the same time.
Can't springboard off this yet. A little bit of stall here. Kankang's in. Nice work from Tui's. Gonna stop that. Yeah, that's really put the brakes on that round for them. It could be a nice upgrade, too, if they needed it. They don't, obviously, for Loud. Chi-Chu showing a little presence on the C side, but that additional rotation is in. Les is there. It's not just Sadak anymore.
I guess they only really have the confirmation of Les being in range of that turret as well, so... Unless Sadak's snake bite spotted early here, but EDG could have forced their way on.
Yeah, but one's been caught on the cross already. Haldong going down makes it even more difficult as well. Losing out on a little bit of that utility. Can these 3 make anything happen? Down to 2 Bulldogs, 1 Spectre. Chichu, the only one to really draw blood so far. Lovely. That's what Loud needed. A clean round to come back into this. Make a little bit of a stake into this map.
Yeah, stopping any early snowball from EDG. Kung will be one away from the Blades now. And Chichu one off the neural theft, but at least available here, wasn't it? He even looked to try and retrieve an orb here. It's curious, actually, as soon as the Cloudburst comes through, even ahead of Kung's dash into it, there's no flash, there's no setup for him to really pop back out of that smoke. So you see how quickly EDG reconsider that approach, but well, we have a little bit of a brawl here, yeah.
Yeah, willing to fight for this space now. Kaunzin, lovely work though, just getting slightly behind Howdong. Able to isolate one. The follow-up's gorgeous! EDG winning out the bloody battle over towards A, and the site's completely theirs. 4 still standing. Plant looks inevitable. Don't think much is going to stop that. Sadak, unless noted in that previous round, mostly leaning towards C. Mostly looking after that area as Les drifts through a little early on this. He hasn't been noted just yet. Yes, he has. Just spotted by Howdong. The trade's there. Numbers very favorable to EDG. This is going to need something miraculous, and it ain't going to happen. EDG instantly addressing that A pressure.
Beautiful pace change as well. Noting the stack there, obviously in the previous round, Kung getting shut down, and then reading into the fact that Loud were heavily anchoring C, both the Killjoy and the Viper, and here they get the rifles on the board. A beautiful second kill there from Howdong, actually.
Very nice, very nice.
Commits to the spray through the edge. Yeah, paying no respect.
But I like that they've tried to address this earlier. It looks like maybe the paranoia is going to be sent with even more bodies behind it.
They're going back in, yeah?
Yeah, this is something that Loud wants to claim themselves, and EDG are going to have to keep trying to pressure this issue. Aspas, are you aware that TP's taken place? Looks like you might be now already. Aspas, Kaunzin looking this way. Howdong succeeded last time from here, and this time around the utilities force them enough away. They can't sit on that for too long. Have to respect it a little, but this will give up the site.
Let's give up control outside rubble here. The smoke will slow things down. No member of EDG past the poison orb just yet. Kaunzin with a shot. Kung potentially, yeah, does find it. Will remove the tip of the spear. EDG will be forced to reconsider for the time being.
Yeah, you can see Loud have retaken towards the site themselves. And they're showing a little of that presence, posturing up for Sadak. Maybe EDG looking for options. None looking too obvious just yet. Seekers as well, so still confirming their attendance. Even noting that lurk in place from Chichu.
That's big info, yeah. Spot Chichu's early progress outside B. So it looks like the split might come through here. Spike not committed just yet, though.
And maybe trying to work off the back of that pressure, but Kaunzin is up to the test. Drawn away for a second, he expects a swing, but
you got 2!
Smoggy got both? Wow, okay, Smoggy's made this look a little bit more doable. Suddenly the Spike's going to try and get over towards that B side, go down, give themselves the time on their side. Still some kit for Aspas to play with, though.
Yeah, but not much.
Not a great deal, and he's still lingering over towards A, maybe expecting a later presence, but no, we know where all of these EDG players are. So like taking the first couple of steps, but that, I'm pretty sure he's going to be spotted on this. Yeah, absolutely noted. Notes 1, nobody's even going to isolate Les. This is not going their way, and nobody holding this. Aspas can't make it through cleanly anymore. The options are looking dreary for him. Hard to clear on that far right corner, nobody. Denies it, and that was a lovely start from Loud there, Mike. That looked like the round was tilting in their favor.
I mean, how Smoggy's lined up too in that position. I'm not even sure where 2Es was.
Oh.
2Es caught the first bullet headshot here. That's tough. And it equalizes that early 2-man advantage that Loud are able to create. Seemingly scot-free as well. There was no possibility of a trade coming back through there, but just hear it off screen. Kung now on the operator. Bladestorm available too. Loud continuing to try and take this space.
He wouldn't go any further, right? He's one away from the ult. If he gets that, game on our hands here, but this round, Danger Man himself.
Let's see a little bit of investment back into this. A Guardian, 2 Stingers, a couple of Sheriffs allowed to work with. And Bladestorm popped. Loud a little later on in the round, but still committed to this 3-man stack outside rubble.
Double pop.
Just going to leave him posted up with the operator. EDG love doing this as well. When he has the op, when you have the Bladestorm, they're happy to let him play his own game, be a distraction.
They still need to break this 3-man push. Not easy at all. Spam comes in, doesn't find what they want. Aspas still very close by, but look at the buy. Don't misplace what the balance of this round is. It is Stingers, it's Guardians, it's Sheriffs. It's not a lot. Seeker's going to come in, showing they've got a little bit of space towards that B site. Oh, that could be huge. It's not. It doesn't actually find in the targets. They scatter on the other side. Kankan getting a little bit more interested and maybe a little too aggressive on this. Sadak's going to find it, and that would be an operator to hand if they really fancy it. Smoggy going to try and pick up the challenge. The adjustment on the spray from nobody is lovely. Expecting 2s on that swing. Now the last 2 are going to find it very difficult to find value here. These rifles just way better situated. Chichu tucked in the corner, gotta be careful. Still a range where it could work. Left with a belter. Good trade for Chichu. That's expecting Howdong. Oh, just off on it there. There's gotta be a pause, Mike. There has to be a pause here.
It does. EDG are dictating the tempo so well, but Loud, I think just a little too cautious to address one of the extremities. Take some space away. I feel like EDG just have so many options here. Again, Loud maintaining rubber control, yes. Other than that pace change in the opener, they did force their way onto A site.
Wow, no timeout. Straight in. They've got plenty of ults to play with, still a buy in hand. Maybe they feel they've got something here. This is the round, they've got to do it though. Paranoia going to come in, deep smoke as well. Aspas once again going to control this this space. But those late leans back in towards B have been working very well for EDG if they don't get that initial pick or that progress towards the other sites.
Curious here if Aspas, this is going to be the one round where actually they force through with a Trailblazer.
Yeah, deeper flash. They might, right? They have to. They have to test what's behind that smoke. Adjustment on the setup short from less, but I don't think it's going to really deny much. Smoggy's already off. He's got the support there, but Tui's lands a great shot. That's going to keep that B side safe. There's the fight we were looking for.
Finally taking that space back, and at the right time on the back of that B side contact. Smoggy a little. Well, the last bullet adjustment there. Nobody going to find less.
I'm a little nervous they're overextending on this. Did Howdong even get checked? No, but he's going to clear it out quite quickly. And it is 3 very dangerous players currently. Kankang's still alive, has that operator.
All the killjoy utility's gone as well, though, with less down.
Yeah, but Tui's was great on this cross. But he's been red. Kankang almost got body blocked on the way back out, but he does get a little bit of room to work with now. Going to get a little bit further ahead. He has to be integral to this round. And he's willing to take the space. He's being audacious with it. No plant yet either. They're waiting for that pick, but they're just not going to be giving it. Discipline being shown by Loud. Double stack towards the A-side connector. Still trying to hold this, keep some avenue safe. Smoke going to go in as well, try and deny some of that push-up coming in from that A site. But you can see the utility coming back out from Loud. They want to try and forge a path, but time's starting to tick now. They do need to start working in. Oh, gets popped. He's looking for it. Shorty in hand. It's nobody to find him. Oh, Tui, Sadak, great work together. Howdong, how much can you do? Not enough. Sadak. Yeah, deep breath from Sadak there. That got very close.
It's like Sadak's re-clearing back towards like outside C, so conscious of alert coming through. So much time elapses here, and EDG, like I said, they go, I don't want to say overly aggressive, but they take a lot of space away from Loud. They're almost left wandering as well. And they get so dicey on site here.
That's a step away from potentially being a fair fight between the two of them. But again, the buy's not good for Loud. This hasn't been a string of rounds. This has been drips and drabs, and they've been battered. So you're going to see Guardians. You're going to see at least that operator brought over. So Aspas gets a little bit of play in this.
Big change up here, though. First time we've seen this heavy an emphasis towards C, or towards Mound at least. Flash will note it. Actually, second bit of utility noted as well.
Maybe that operator being in play a little bit more favorable for Aspas to try and play around that. All going to come in, but look at Kankang trying to build the space so quickly.
No respect.
Huge.
Zero respect for Sadak's pit.
So confident to take that. And that was a solo effort as well from Sadak.
On the back of this presence shown outside C, EDG love posting Kankang up to take 1v1s elsewhere.
Does Cowan want to try and explore this further? Oh dear, that's a dead man walking. Nobody waiting. They read it so well. That want of trading a kill back, getting something on their side. And look at the way they're approaching this. Kankang is on the other side of the map. He's still punishing less. EDG, this is stunning.
You never get a solid indicator for what EDG are going to do in the early round.
Because Kang's an army by himself.
Exactly.
He took down the pit, he took down Sadak, he explores further, he finds less. That could have been an A take. It wasn't, but it could have been.
So it comes back to that point once again. EDG just have so many options in the early round. Loud, lacking a bit of composure here in terms of the bigger picture. And it's
the legs.
It's tough, but Loud have to take the initiative in some of these rounds.
Well, I kind of liked it, right? When they started to play out a little bit deeper towards A, testing what's behind that smoke, exploring late, punishing that beam, kind of, I guess, adjustment. But then once we go into this round, I mean, you're trying to trade a kill back at that point. They were so set up for it.
Enemy kill.
Oh!
One enemy remaining.
EDG are running rings around Loud right now.
It's not even close.
You see Aspas come online. Sitting at 2 and 8, obviously, usually the power play you consider in a match like this versus a hyper-aggressive team.
This is just still, yes, chip damage there, but we need 2 to go beyond that, and he's not going to. It's now down to just 2, and Kang is just striding through towards the site. Taking all that space away. Yes, Les can fill a little bit of the gap, but the timing's going to be rough. Okay, he's got a little bit of a window to play with. The Frenzy, maybe he gets a chance to work. Neither are watching this angle. Timing's actually on his side there. Nice attempt on the adjustment, but if it was a rifle, maybe something else could have happened. It's not. So Sadak needs to deliver miracles on this. Sheriff, 2 big players against him. Chi-Chu, feeling like one of the unsung heroes of this team. Hard to share the limelight with someone like Kang, but still, certainly showing his value. Potential rifle there, but time is against him.
Does have the poison orb and the snake bite to work with, but doesn't want to give his position away
guesswork.
just yet. Yeah.
High-low, not gonna happen. Let's kind of take stock here, Mike, because Loud took a gamble, took a risk going to this map, and it looks like it's absolutely going wrong.
Yeah, I guess it's difficult to really categorize this without having the context from the inside of how they felt about the veto. If this was, they liked something they saw versus Liquid and felt like they could maybe exploit this. And here, obviously, with this start, they don't have the benefit of finances to back up.
Yeah.
Take some risks in the early round, take some engagements. So there's lots of questions here about what the approach actually was to bring this. EDG, though, have just come out of the gate swinging.
They look flat for Loud as well. If you're talking the mental game, and I kind of touched on this earlier, that EG game, EG are very hard to play against currently because, as said, pistol, bonus, and then you kind of run into the buy rounds. But I feel like Loud have never had a solid start in this. They've gone from one very compounding game to another. But EDG, credit to them, just turned up and played their own game. I don't think they've been particularly pressured. We haven't seen a single player having like a pop-off round. They've had no bailouts for Loud here.
It's funny as well to hear Kung talking about respecting Loud as a team and Aspas as an individual, and then just not seeing that in the server.
Not
at all.
Yeah, that's the way you want to see it though, right? Because it's a genuine thing though, the fear of a name, right? Like you're kind of against a big boy player. You've had them in finals. They've won some of these events before. And Aspas has been absent here. Again, regular season over in NA. Fabulous performance from them. Looking like they're about to correct all of those issues that plagued them. Look good. Come here, and it's been missing. Really is. Now, I don't think this map was probably the best bet. Maybe again we could find out more once you speak to the coaches, you see their intention. I think putting Loud into a further unknown worries me, because the entirety of this is Loud basically playing into unknowns, right? We had EG on, it's a very small sample size, keep in mind. While I waffle, there is a tech pause. Again, the EG game, I think EG were playing above their station so far, so a little bit of an unknown quantity, right? They came in with such momentum, very hard to kind of manage that. Now you play up against EDG, another team, high momentum, high confidence, and you've given yourself the unknown of a map that isn't safe for you. There's no comfort here for Loud.
Well, again, just touching on further into the veto, we then go to Fracture, where EG absolutely spanks Loud.
Yes.
They barely had a say in that map. EG ran away with that so early on, and we were crediting that towards Aspas being way ahead of the curve, Loud kind of forgetting early round protocols, not investing utility, setting Aspas up. He was still delivering numerically, but it wasn't really being converted into rounds or any sort of consistency across it. So you come out here with the Lotus pick, and this almost felt like it needed to be one-sided.
Yes,
for Lau.
yes, 100%. I'm with you. Like, if you're, as I said, if we're talking about
if Fracture versus EG was an anomaly, but I'm looking at that as a red flag, a massive red flag.
Because it's poured through to this, hasn't it? This hasn't just felt like one map being wrong or one opponent over-delivering. Yeah, EDG are playing a fantastic game. I don't want to discredit them in any regard for that. Like, they are playing very, very well. But I don't think any of what they've been bringing was tested. It wasn't pushed yet. We saw one round them address one side of the map.
Well, especially here as well, if you bring Lotus out and you're relying on your prep, is that applicable to the way EDG play? Because they're playing very unorthodox.
Yes.
They're doing some things that, like I said, they're just going to keep Loud guessing, and we haven't really seen any set pieces executed here from Loud. Finances, round score aside, yes, it's not really going to enable them to take many risks, but if you were going to play this veto heavily reliant on prep, you don't get the opportunity now. That's it. That ship
That's gone out the window.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
Long ago. And to kind of add to that, if we're going to compound problems, we're speaking very realistically as this, I think it's just going back live now, so we can kind of pause that for now. But we haven't had that big Kang round. We haven't had that massive Chi-Chi round yet. They're just playing a good game of Valorant. This hasn't been a singular performance. This hasn't just been one player having those pop-off moments.
And we've had basically one example of, let's call it a set piece, an adjustment on the side of Lau, which is around the pit. Yes, they looked to heavily anchored or pressure towards Mount, and it was shut down immediately. Loud have just not had any semblance of stability. No opportunity to really be decisive in these rounds.
And here comes the switch up. Sadak's got to be really careful here. He's instantly under pressure. They are closing the gap. The Seeker's going to isolate and find out where he is. The fight's there for Kang as well. He wants it. Blades pop. It's less to find Chi-Chu, but he's right there with him. This is his sight until Aspas finally makes a little bit of magic happen for himself. They're fighting back for this one. Loud not letting them take the space away. A reminder of who this team is. Loud finally turn up to the fight.
Those sorts around are confidence builders versus EDG. Shutting them down, winning out in a scrappy engagement. Almost looked like Sadak was going to get caught off guard then. A number of times he's readjusting that poison orb. Kang is just so quick, man. Loud build upon this now. Paranoia going to be sent here. EDG is stacked up once again, Lauren.
We're talking about brawls. Let's see if it continues for Loud, though. They won one of them finally. Howlong's in danger, actually. This is good. The full-on flash. Oh, it's caught him. Aspas was blinded, had to fall away. Another bit of utility, just forcing him back and back and back. But Aspas, is he the one to save them? Kang is dead. There he is, finally coming alive. Aspas holding the ground. Nobody's willing to fight, though. They are up for the challenge. They feel no fear. Oh, and there you can see why. Beautiful shot towards Aspas. Oh, and another response. Sadak is there, but nobody has given himself a 1v1. 1 minute on the board, less against him.
The ping's come through. Nobody's been given the information by his teammates here. But down to 52 HP.
Got a flash.
Trailblazer to work with as well.
He's got so much time to play with.
Les has got to be sweating bullets here. Nobody's trying to dig him out.
Yeah, I like this. Not even reloading, not using the flash yet. He's trying to clear as much as he can, maybe figure out how much space you'd have to work with. They have no idea of truly where each other are currently. All right, gonna go in.
30 seconds left.
He's gonna hold the push through, give a little bit of respite for Les. He's considering the C site now. There's been enough time passed that he's a little bit worried about that C site.
The turret would have spotted any push through from spawn, but
10 seconds left.
nobody going to opt for a safe plant here on 8. Lockdown and a nano swarm available. Les, what does he invest here?
He's got a bit of kit on this one. Nobody's seen him. He's been seen right back, but the HP's lower for nobody. There's the lockdown. You got to play this right. Do not.
Les!
You are mad!
Dancing with death behind a snappy one tap.
taking risks at this point. Bloody hell, it's a lifeline for Loud. Very close round.
But that's 2 now on the board. Well, they've won out in a scrap, and this looked like EDG were almost about to turn this back. Aspas goes huge to shut this down. Another confidence builder for Loud. 3-round deficit. A stark contrast potentially here in the outcome. The final scoreline, if this wallbang connects, is going to be heartbreaking. Aspas.
Okay. Oh, he's down
a big
28.
tag.
Yeah, he's very low here. Kaunzin's close enough by. He should be able to get him back up to a decent amount of HP, but this buys time. And you can look at what EDG are doing. They're trying to explore the rest of the map while Loud try and get themselves back up to fighting form. Already split through towards B, a little testing over towards Mound. Big impact just off that Guardian alone.
They needed a spark, and these 2 scrappy rounds, please put them back in contention for this half. A 7-5 will feel like a miracle for Loud.
Kangkang's come over a little later this time. No pixel noted though. You can see Kaunzin drifting a little closer towards A-Long, but you can see the Seekers forge the trail through towards B, and there's the fair fight, but Smoggy wins this one out, spots out Tui's as well. The Seeker giving him so much space. Flash, yes, for the shorty! Oh, the follow-up! They don't fight alone here, EDG swarming the site, and Sadak and Les feeling a mile away, and Chichu's position should be the death of Sadak.
It absolutely is. 1 left standing, and it's Les. Smoggy chomping at the bit. 3 bullets. Les will respond though, but a 1v4.
Okay, this is getting a little much for me. It would take superhuman sort of performance here to try and work this one out. Let's give it a damn good go. It's not gonna happen. Haldong's there. And look, the scoreline actually giving Loud a little bit of room. Not a lot, but a little.
There's something at least to cling on to here. I mean, the spacing is just, talking about uncharacteristic things we're seeing time and time again from Loud. They can't get this trade on in the last round, and it just spirals out of control so quickly, Lauren.
Certainly does. And keeping us in control will be the desk.
Thank you so much for that, and wow, I mean, if there's one thing that we learned from this without a doubt is that EDG's here to play, and Loud just gave themselves a little bit of a lifeline to work with, but not what I was expecting going into the half.
Yeah, Loud now the second team to adopt this Cloud9 Neon Sky comp on this map, and the second, I think, to kind of, I feel like, miss some of the strongest points of them. Loud was constantly going for these A-lobby brawls where they're full committing with a paranoia, with their Neon running in to take that space really early in these rounds, and it kind of made it so they were flipping these rounds really early on. And I think that can be a mistake with this composition. One of its biggest strengths is the ability to have your Neon and your Sky rotating in the mid-round, re-clearing space, using those stuns to stall out executes, almost like a breach. You can just run really fast across the map. When you're going aggressive like that, against this double duelist Omen comp, EDG can just get aggressive ahead of that, teleport past you, and punish those aggressive plays, as they did so many times.
Exactly. That round 4 was a perfect example. On the previous round, EDG saw the aggression, and they were like, okay, we're out. On the next one, we're going to actually have a reaction to that. You have that double duelist. It's going to be easy for you to be snappy, to be explosive. Also Loud using that retake wall over to B and C. Like, the plan was very obvious, and it's something that fell a little bit flat. I think it was only 1 round that we saw them taking a different initiative. On the other side, we're seeing an EDG that is bringing what we expected, late round executes. Now going into their defense, though, we need to address the fact that that double duelist is there, and obviously the Cypher as well.
Yeah, 33% win rate for them on this half of the map. It is definitely the weaker one, so this is doable for Loud. While it wasn't a great first half, it was individual moments that got them those rounds. 4 is enough to make a comeback happen here. I think this Neon cap can be quite strong on the attacking side. You can flood through that Killjoy utility, and I think for EDG, they'll be forced into playing a retake a lot.
Yeah, well, these next 2 rounds that are coming up here could be critical for Loud to just get them right back into the game. Anything is possible to send it right back over to Pansy and Hypok.
Now we get to find out the reality of, is 4 rounds enough? The desk was describing it, you know, the EDG face some issues now with this composition coming into this half.
But I think Loud do as well. Talk about Chichu already making a name for himself here in Tokyo, but also the Cypher kind of counters Aspas's ability to freely enter site. We have to see if that is something that causes some issues because they're heading straight towards the setup right now. Unless his turret doesn't get the info.
No, but they are taking a lot of room here.
Dealt with.
Yeah, that's one down. One more to go. Chichu.
Took
Be a little
ton of
careful here,
damage.
yeah.
Bot coming back.
And who was it on this? It's Howdong with him as well. Now, there's a lot of pressure, but then no commitment initially. Maybe seeing if EDG re-clear. For now, Howdong's just holding. Thinking that no one slipped through, and no one has.
Didn't catch it actually if Les's turret was destroyed or he recalled it because he was out of range.
There it is. Okay, so like a contact piece was being brought in. Not going to find the value it wanted here, Chichu. Does he get away? How much does he get away with? Does he just get some timing? Just
Spike
the
planted.
best timing in the world. Slips a little closer, down on 1 HP though. Had to wait for that to come back up. Counten's got the punish. And Loud with this double pump towards the A side. It's worked out well. Les trying to hold this back line. Clean on that shot towards Smoggy. Shut yeah, hunted down. Okay. This is still a lot to do though. That's 4 players to clear on this side. Gonna smoke off Sadak and look to find a player watching that cross towards him. Nicely done so far by Loud. Nobody making a go of it. But 4 HP. Oh dear, not going to be enough. Loud. Stay alive with 2. Do what they need to, making it up to 5.
Slow approach here, and like I said, Loud have to be conscious of sniffing out where Chichu's setups are, create a little bit of space. Just open up these choke points for Aspas. Yeah, curious if actually Loud want to run this through with a couple rifles or actually invest fully SMGs across this. It will just be 3 actually. The Ghost and a Frenzy to round things out.
Okay. What do we have on the other side? I'm just seeing a Sheriff, Ghost for nobody, and that's about it. So, by all rights, Loud should have probably the cleanest round thus far. Get themselves up towards 6. A couple of orbs here and there. Lovely day in the office. But there is a stack on B. And Loud gonna navigate around that, not gonna entertain the concept of it. And head back around towards A. Okay, so dealing with the turret though. Where do the rest of EDG head? Right, back round towards connector. Okay, so Loud, similar scenes, just doing their due diligence. This is all somewhat safe so far. Kankang, the only one who's really going to pose a threat, but the paranoia lands perfectly, spams in, spots out Aspas, who slides right on by him. A-Side is going to have some bodies on it though, Mike. This isn't completely safe anymore.
Nobody info on 2Es here. Perfect flash comes through,
Rifle.
finds a big upgrade.
Hold on, this is getting way more dangerous now. Sadak still in his frenzy, and look at the HP. Sadak down low. If nobody can land these, which he can! Oh dear! Loud might have made the biggest mistake yet! And now one more kill! Smoggy! Flies in! And EDG! Breaking Loud's hearts. That was meant to be the cleanest round yet for them.
You talk about an upgrade paying dividends here. Nobody goes huge. Again, left on flank duty here with a rifle. Disconnected a little bit. There's nobody in position to police that weapon. No buddy system in place. And EDG make Loud pay for that mistake.
All of those benefits of round 1 have been lost. All of that opportunity gone, and you will be furious with that. That was a Sheriff and a Ghost. That was it. There was nothing more to the EDG buy. And a rifle found, and a round taken. Loud. Devastating timing for this. On the way back in though, Sheriffs themselves a frenzy to add in. And the ult for Aspas. Has the shield as well, so looking like he wants to invest this. They'll slow down on the way in though, not gonna have as much ease of access, but you can see him trying to be brought in by Cowanzy. EDG, hyper proactive through middle, and that is a player hunted down. Smoggy wanted Sadak dead.
Move the lurk nice and early. Spike will be planted, but Aspas needs to try and find something here. Kankang at the perfect time swings back onto 2Es.
Does Aspas have the chance though? Not really, and look at Kankang, head first. Wants it, doesn't get it, punished. Kankang gonna go down. This gives him a little bit of a window of chance, not much though. Solo, Aspas 8 HP. This have to be one of the biggest rounds we'd ever see from him. That's the start he wants. Defuse started though, and it's not ideal for him in this situation. Another Aspas, a valiant attempt. Not going to be enough though, and that's double digits for EDG, Mike. They've done so well so quickly.
That flip round
Yeah.
totally alters the course of the start of this half. Loud will be back on a purchase now, but yeah, just pennies left after this. Aspas at 1,200, sure, but it's going to make any sort of investment very, very difficult beyond this.
Operator out. Correct site to be on.
Players stacked up.
Yep. Well, Kang, let's see what you got here, buddy. You're starting to look a little more heated in the cam as well, starting to get a little bit more into the game, standing up tall. Aspas, great work, but EDG responding kind, held on, getting away with daylight robbery until then. Aspas really the only one to answer back. Flies in and flies out. Kang holding that so well. And it's just less. In the blink of an eye, we're still above a minute. This is systematic destruction, EDG. Taking no prisoners here.
No. Again, putting a stranglehold on the finances once again, same as the first half. Loud. Very few rounds to play with now. Unimportant. Look at Cow and Zine as well. We gets the TP up early. Loud will call a timeout here because, like I said, there's very, very few rounds left for them to have a say in this half. Look at them here toying with the idea of throwing a rifle or two in here. Aspas, ultimate once again, Cow and Zine with the Seekers.
I have to kind of bring this back to reality, that this just feels desperate from Loud. They haven't had answers. They haven't had their players there.
We saw this turning point in the series versus, well, actually even in the first map versus EG, where Loud just suddenly was just like, okay, guys, try and find a kill. There was no utility invested. It was just 2 or 3 players Loud just barreling towards the side, trying to take an engagement, and things just, I don't even want to say slip through their fingers. They never even got a grasp in the second half.
Never got a hand to it. But this would be like seeing Fnatic, after the season they had in EMEA, faltering twice in a row.
Yeah, I mean, historically, the only time we've ever seen Loud lose an opening game was to Optic at Copenhagen, and they were eliminated immediately after that. Again, we're talking history, but this is such an anomaly for Loud, but it's also now a real possibility with how this first map is going, unless we see a total overhaul on Fracture.
He's here again. You can't get away from this guy. Omnipresent, standing his ground, has to respect it eventually and fall away, but he stays out just long enough. He's not going to go in. He's not fully dipping away from this, and they've got the right read here as well. EDG have 3 players on that C site. Great call. Maybe noting Kang is enough that they maybe adjust, that they fall away from this. He's going to chase him around this map if he has to. Loud can't play hide and seek the whole time. Going to take away a little bit of the utility invested towards A. May cheat you a little bit more vulnerable, but you can already see the adjustment. Proactive over towards Mount, they've cleared, nothing seen, and the burst towards the side. How much can Chichu hold though? This is a very, very tough position. He's opted correctly, falls away to a little bit of a deeper position, force them to explore further, and punishes 2! Looking for a 3rd, he can't do any more, but he's done so much. And the beast from the east is here. This man is deadly through and through. Less gonna be caught off as well. EDG just pushing Loud down on the knees. This is flawless. I mean, EDG are outclassing Loud in every aspect.
They haven't missed a beat. And Kang rotating across once again, keeping Loud guessing in the early round. Like I said, it doesn't matter what side, there are no early round indicators you get from EDG.
Nope.
There's no way to feel out the setup, the formation, anything. You barely even get a chance.
Well, Aspas as a result, they've got to buy. It's now or it's never, right? This was meant to be the curveball map pick. This was the map that maybe they felt they had some tape on, recent tape. They had a really nice concept coming in. They've got 5 rounds. You've got to do something now, Loud. Otherwise, EDG are tearing away map 1 with a huge advantage leading into map 2. And Kang's patrolling, prowling around. Singular hold towards A as well. He's going to have the fight against Sadak. Last time, so quick, you barely saw it. This time, Sadek's ready. Huge pick, taking away the headhunter himself. G2 on the switch up though this time here.
Campbell spot. A couple of bodies from Loud, but as I say, it could be a concern that the Trailblazer is used so early on. Big damage done, 2 doesn't fall though.
They're chasing. EDG getting aggressive, herding them around the map. Look at the backfill of this space. Nobody is chasing them down. Zero respect given. They want this. The paranoid didn't quite land. They are literally on their heels. Loud are running for the hills, running for the site. TP taken for how long? Safely towards CT. And now the flank gets watched. Trying to bait it on the jump spot. Nobody swings but takes the damage. Aspas has to defend this side of the map. There are 3 players against him. Lockdowns come in. Loud are panicking. They got to hold on to this. They know the stakes. They're in this round.
We'll force them away here. The lockdown draws a line at the choke point. Aldon's still over in spawn, but looks as if EDG finally will relent. Will give this up. They're so desperate to catch the backside of that Loud stack because they know the spike's there.
Yep.
They read it perfectly. Dumping utility, the paranoia sent through. Nobody chomping at the bit. Smoggy will find one. Yeah. I mean, really, you're looking for damage control here from Loud. You don't want to see less score either, but
nice.
Sharp to it.
Last player standing.
Great from Les, yeah. Wow. Okay. Said they had to do something. Took them a lot, but Loud got it. That's 6. Need 6 more to close up this scoreline. Have a full buy here. 1 away from the pit. TP, yeah. And 2 from the Seekers. So a couple of options coming close, but on the other side, I am also seeing that showstopper, which worries me. It's still an operator as well for Kangkang, so it's so much still in the
And like I said, the fact that now Loud have to invest the Trailblazer to try and fish out Kangkang in the early round, it actually reinforces G2's utility a little bit here.
He's going for it!
Ahead of it.
This guy's nuclear right now. Just going to back away, try and readdress this. But EDG, get in their faces. This is a round that's sending a message. No fear, no respect. And Loud are struggling down to 2. G2 just wants it. They want him dead. They want him buried. They want that too. And they might just be getting it right now. Finishing with a flourish. It's 13-6. EDG outclassing Loud by a mile.
Absolutely explosive once again. Like I said, Loud just unable to grasp anything here on Lotus, it felt like. Even some of the rounds where Loud looked to go aggressive. I said EDG played both sides of the coin perfectly. Absolute masterclass from them. Talking about last time versus Liquid, coming down to a coin flip. This wasn't even close, Lauren.
No, totally different game in that regard. And you know what, that scares me. Those last couple of rounds where you started to see that, you know, the classic, like that Chinese style, right, where it's just hyper-aggression, raw fights. It's terrifying. So they can switch into that gear. They have that.
Yeah, versus a team like Loud that historically have shown us that they can play scrappy, they can brawl, they have the firepower here in this roster to be able to go toe-to-toe with some of the more aggressive teams across the world. But here, a 13-6 on Lotus and the way that EDG approached this, the lack of respect, Loud